Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Ryviews.com, and it's time for my long-awaited, I'm sure, Halo 5 Guardians Ryview. It's a video Ryview, so how about that? This is put out by 343 Industries. It is not the 5th entry in the Halo series, probably the 6th or 7th, depending on how you count things. Might also be going in double digits, depending on if you count the various other kinds of games like Spartan Ops and not Spartan Ops, Spartan Assault, that's the name. So, long-standing series. This changes things quite a bit. For one thing, the default controls are all wonky compared to old Halo. Not really a bad change, but it does feel very different. Back in the day, this was a game where you would always fire with the right trigger, throw grenades with the left trigger, and a few other buttons also factored in there. But that was the main point. Along, with kind of, of course, A jumping and Y changing weapons and so forth, that were standard for a long time. I'm not quite sure when this changed, but at some point, it became a thing to zoom in with the left trigger. That's how Destiny was. It took me a long time to get used to it, and now this is molded to that too. Not necessarily a bad thing, but very different. So certainly when I was playing the beta, it did not feel like Halo. Now that I've gotten used to it, it's definitely still kind of got the Halo vibe because of the way the gameplay works, but it is very different. You'll notice here also that you can aim any weapon now with SmartLink. Okay? It didn't used to be the case. You can only aim with guns that scope. So this changes the dichotomy a lot too. You have lots of weapons, such as a light rifle, which actually has some serious differences when you zoom in as far as physique. But it's my understanding that it's pretty much the same weapon typically. This kind of tightens up a little bit, but you're still going to be able to hit that small little area. You can notice the outside circle there, if you're not watching that, gets tighter, but the inside circle remains exactly the same. So that makes things like SWAT, which are already kind of high intensity, very different because it's kind of motivated to not scope. One thing that's returned to this game is that whenever you hit, you get taken out of your zoom, which is very frustrating. It's also just a fact of life, I guess, but in something like Destiny, of course, that doesn't happen. This definitely changes things. You'll notice a gun like this too, the reticle does not change at all. So the left trigger zoom does change things quite a bit, but doesn't necessarily alter weapons a lot. You'll notice one other thing, you're able to hover in the air when you aim a weapon. That's exciting and different. You have a thruster pack now that you can use to get in and out of sticky situations. You can use this to hide around this wall. I can clamber up surfaces. There's now a running melee, that's cool. And a ground pound. That's not how you do it. There we go. Ground pound. Boom. All that makes it feel very different than classic Halo. Once again, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it's very different. So, if you're a classic Halo fan, this game is going to take a lot of getting used to. I think it's still definitely worth buying, but it's something that you're going to need to play a lot of hours in if you want to really get good and you really want to compete. SWAT is really the only game that I've played so far that really highlights my remaining skill. The rest of them I still got my ass kicked heartily. So, move on to the campaign, and you'll notice several also very different aspects to it. What am I doing here? Okay, let me leave. All right, there we go. Mostly because every map, or every level or whatever, has 4 players. You're in a squad now. You're either with Master Chief with the blue team, or you're locked with Fireteam Osiris. And of course, that was tested out with in Halo 2 when you went back and forth between Master Chief and the Arbiter, but there weren't always these squad-based commands either. It's very different. So we're going to watch this for a second while I'm playing co-op. So essentially, the big difference here is that when you die, you can be revived by teammates. That's nice. You can give a few squad commands like attack that enemy or do this, do that, which is nice and it's interesting, but once again, does not really feel different than its predecessors. Is that a terrible thing? Probably not, but you have to once again be completely aware that things have changed quite a bit. This is not the game you'll remember. And you'll see here, you hop in during the action, sliding down here, and you watch yourself kill some dudes without actually playing something. Then you get right into the action, where alongside the squad combat, you also have a very, very ever-present listing of people talking at you, including the character you're controlling, which is not very common in the old Halo games. Of course, Cortana used to talk, and there used to be a few NPCs that talked to you, but in general, it was just kind of random marine chatter, and then, you know, cutscenes. Now there's cutscenes in the middle levels. There's lots of squad chatter between the guys talking to you. They'll see their little name on the left-hand side. Once I trigger their talking here, if I'll run forward, someone's going to talk to me at some point, I'm sure. Yeah, see? I'm talking to get the little, you know, data point on the left. It's hard to hear if you don't adjust the settings, by the way. I didn't like that. But, so, otherwise, is it still Halo? You know, yes. You know, you still have some awesome fast-paced action, although it is more fast-paced than it used to be. Shields drop fast, you fire and ready weapons faster. But this is still Halo. You know, you're still fighting elites, you're still fighting grunts. And in fact, in Halo 3, you didn't really fight elites anyway. You're still fighting Covenant, and now you're fighting Prometheans too. You know, it is still the same Halo that you know and love. It just has a few makeovers. It's fast-paced, but it's fun. It's high quality, in my opinion. Assassinations are still here, by the way. They survived from 4, which I'm also very happy with. Getting surrounded here. I will say that playing on Heroic, I got my ass kicked. So I would recommend, at least for the first 2 playthroughs, playing on normal unless you've played a lot of multiplayer and you've gotten used to all the new controls, because it is all very different. But otherwise, I think it's a good game. I still recommend buying it. If you're on the fence, you can maybe wait a while, but right now, it did not have the problems of the Master Chief Collection. You know, the multiplayer works, the campaign works. I had a few difficulties with my NAT settings, but that has nothing to do with the game. So in general, I think if you want to play it, now is a fine time, unless you're waiting for a big sale. So yeah, that's my review. Let me know if you have questions, comments. I can show off some other features. I'll probably have some Ryplays later, showing off various different items in the multiplayer packs. But for right now, yeah, that's my review. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Visit www.ryviews.com for more content, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.